And welcome back, guys, to the Spacey Trappers Review channel, where we try to review a little bit of everything. And as you can clearly see in front of me today, I have the Samsung slash Harman Kardon, since Samsung bought Harman Kardon, the Samsung Harman Kardon Soundbar HW-Q60R. It could have come up with a better name for it, but oh well, it's a Samsung soundbar. Now, I'm going to go into specs, the details, the little bit of nitty-gritty stuff. So sit back, relax. Let's begin this review. So, let's start off this review with price. The reason I want to bring up price, you'll understand a little bit later on, but the reason why I want to bring up price is because originally this soundbar was over the $500 mark. So it was, I think, $499, maybe $520, $530 around there, $550 for the soundbar, and it comes with a subwoofer. And I thought that price was absolutely outrageous. It was absolutely outrageous. We'll get to the specs in a minute. I'm not going to mention any specs now. But now, they've reduced the price down to $499. And as of right now, on Best Buy's website, if you want to go and purchase this, it's $399. So they took $100 off. It's $399.99 plus tax. I wouldn't know because I was one of the fortunate ones to get this soundbar on Black Friday. And I got it for $280. After tax, $300 and a couple of cents. So I got this soundbar on a steal. To be quite honest with you, for the sound it gives, for the price that they have it at, like let's say there's no discount. Let's say it's a straight $499 and you want this soundbar. Look elsewhere. Look elsewhere because I promise you, this is not a $499. This is not a $500 setup. Even though it's a 5.1 and it has all the little gizmos and gadgets inside of it, it's not good enough, to me at least, to pay $500. Now, if you get this soundbar for the same price I got it for, around a $280, anywhere between $280 to $330, if you can get it in between that range, plus tax, before tax, whatever, I think at that point, then you've got yourself a solid soundbar for the money. Now, that I got that little bit out of the way, let's move on to the specifications of the soundbar. So I know with any tech product, the junkies are waiting for the specs and to know what is under the hood of this bad boy. Well, let me tell you, it's a little something to be desired. It's a little bit lackluster. So much lackluster, at least to me, to the point where I have to say, cue the Jeremy Clarkson memes because this thing needs more power. So, underneath the hood of this thing is 360 watts peak power. Now remember, I've said it in the past multiple times. What you're looking for is the RMS power, not the peak power. You won't be blasting this thing at the full 100-notch volume that this goes up to all the time. You're not going to be doing that. You're going to be playing it low. And for that, your RMS value is what you're going to look for versus your peak value. So RMS is total power, peak power, divided by 2, which means this thing most of the time will be running off of 180 watts of power. Now you understand why I mentioned $500 is way too much for a 180 watt RMS system. It's daunting to me that Samsung would charge $500 for you to get something that's 180 watts RMS. It's really daunting. People look at 360 watts peak power and they put that big and bold all over whatever website and whatnot. And that's just not true. You're not going to get that value all the time. You're not. It can reach that value. Yes, it can. But you're not going to physically get that value all the time because you're not going to be playing this as loud as you think. Unless you're playing a movie or you're just playing music loud, etc., etc. Right? So the RMS value is 180 watts of this. This is a 5.1 virtual surround sound setup. So you have a subwoofer down here. That's what the 0.1 is for. And then you have 5 speakers. So in the front of the soundbar, there is a total of 3 speakers. Then on the top of the soundbar, if you can kind of see it here, there's a little line going through here. I believe those are just 2 tweeters in the middle of all of this. And that's your 5 speakers. That's your 2 speakers on the top. So the virtual surround sound, how it works is that sound is going to bounce from the soundbar of the top, from the top of the soundbar up to the ceiling, and then bounce back off the ceiling to come to you. While the 3 firing speakers in the front, directional speakers I should say, that are facing you are going to be playing at the same time. And that's what gives you that kind of immersive thing. It's not a real 3D surround sound kind of experience. It's never going to be that. But for what it is, for the technology that went into it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty decent. And I like the sound that it produces. Now, again, is it a full 3D system? No, it's not. Have I heard what a full 3D system sounds like compared to this? Yes, I have. My Logitech Z906, most popular video on my channel. This, it does it almost to a certain extent. I mean, again, this is also only Dolby Digital, not Dolby Atmos. Again, $500. Why are you charging me $499? And you're not even going to give me Dolby Atmos. You're giving me Dolby Digital Audio, which is okay. It's not even Dolby Digital Plus. I think there's Digital Plus out there too. It's not even that. It's just regular Dolby Digital. And that's it. Now, also going into the specs, this thing does have Bluetooth on it. So if your TV is Bluetooth enabled, just in case you don't have the cable yet, which this does come with an optical cable for the 5.1. So you could use that. It connected to the TV if your TV has an optical port. If not, this does come with Bluetooth. Now, Bluetooth version, I'm not sure. Honest to God, I think it might be anywhere in more recent terms of Bluetooth 4 to 4.2. Nowhere close to 5. Nowhere close to 5. I'm pretty sure this does not have Bluetooth 5. For sure shot. It's most likely going to have Bluetooth anywhere from Bluetooth 4, 4.1, or 4.2. If it has anything lower than that, then it's very disappointing, again, for the price. This does also have an adaptive sound kind of thing going on. So for all those fans of HDMI ARC and all this crazy nonsense, there are 2 HDMI ports I'll get to in a minute. But all those fans of HDMI ARC and all the fancy, nice, clean, crisp audio, this thing will adapt to the surroundings and give you the best experience that it can possibly give you. Which, in my testing, sounds pretty good. It works okay. But again, with the power, there's a little bit more to be desired. A little bit more. Like, I'm hearing things, and I like it. But I feel like there should be more depth to that sound versus whatever this is producing. This does also have a game mode, so if you have HDMI ARC connected on this into your TV, if your TV is HDMI ARC compatible, you will enter that game mode thing, and this will start playing games with the nicest of details. I do have to say so myself. Playing Forza on this, I do have the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. I will be doing a review on that. But plugging it into that, getting things moving about and whatnot, the sound is super duper clean. I really, really enjoy the sound that this thing produces when it comes to gaming. Forza sounds great on it. Call of Duty sounds great on it. Hell, I even downloaded Burnout Paradise, and DJ Atomica sounds like he's in my own car radio. It's awesome. It's a great experience when it goes into game mode, and I really do enjoy it. Something that this also does support is HDR10 content. Now, I don't have any HDR10 content, nor do I think I watch any HDR10 content currently. But my TV, my Samsung TV, is HDR10 compatible. Yuck, tongue twisting. This is HDR10 compatible, so if I do have something, let's say a movie or some type of video or whatever the case is, this will work for HDR10 content, which is great to know. You're kind of set for the next couple of years until the next new thing comes out in terms of sound technology. So you have a lot of features packed into this bad boy. It's really nice. Now, again, I would have preferred, at least if people are buying this for $499, to have Dolby Atmos, not Dolby Digital. You should have given this soundbar Dolby Atmos, but can't have everything. And at 180 watts, that's another downfall. Not knowing what Bluetooth version this is, and trust me, I've looked. That's kind of a downfall on its own. I don't know. There's a couple of things that are not hitting the mark for me just yet, and then there's a lot of things that are hitting the mark for me. Like I said, this does come with a subwoofer. This is a 6.5-inch sub, and I think that's the most lackluster thing about this, to be quite honest with you. In a sense, I would say, dividing the 180 watts RMS, I'd say the soundbar alone takes 100 watts, and the subwoofer takes 80 watts, which sucks. It's not even disappointing. It just sucks. Okay? The subwoofer leaves a lot to be desired for me. It leaves a whole ton to be desired. And one thing that I'm going to get into when I get into the sound test is location, location, location. If you do not have a good enough location for this thing. If you cannot place it properly, you will not hear what you heard in the Best Buy store like I did. I heard super booming bass, crazy fancy stuff, going on with the virtual surround sound going on and all this stuff. And then I come home, plug it in, and realize I don't have a good spot to put this, do I? And it showed. It showed. This is in my bedroom currently. I took this out and brought it into the office, but this is technically my bedroom system. It's not producing the way I thought it would, especially since it's a more confined area, and the way sound works is that it'll bounce off all the walls. You'll get the big boomy vibrating bass and the fancy, crazy sound click clacks and all those other sounds that this thing can produce. But it's wrong. I feel it sounds wrong. Now my parents also bought this for their room. They have a little bit of a larger room in their house, and it sounds way better. So again, location is key when placing this soundbar setup. Location is very much so key in the placement of this thing. But anyways, I've been talking about sound like that for so long. Let's give this thing a shot. See how it sounds. So really quick disclaimer. The songs that I'm going to be using to do the sound test are made by me. So to avoid the copyright, to avoid all of the fanciness, and to avoid paying $200 a year for other tracks on websites where I can use them license free, etc., etc., I decided to make my own tracks on GarageBand. Now, yes, I'm not a producer by any means. I probably don't know how to make a proper track like real producers, maybe yet, but I tried. I tried just so I wouldn't get no copyright, and on top of that, I kind of made it flat as possible. So go enjoy it, hopefully, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about how the sound is, but let's get into the actual sound test. Alright, so like I said, here's the track. It's already connected to the soundbar. Now it took about 5 seconds to connect to the soundbar, so Bluetooth is very fast, so that's why I was guessing anywhere around Bluetooth 4 to 4.2. But yeah, like I said, here's the track, and let's play. Volume's at 20 on that, by the way, and full volume here, so. I'll probably raise it up to 25 here. Now remember, the soundbar goes all the way up to 100, so. So now that you got a taste of that, let me load up something else so you can hear one more track, and then we'll start discussing more of the soundbar. Alright, so second track, ready to play. Again, I'm going to go up to about 20 on the soundbar because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. I'm going to go to about 20 on the soundbar, and maybe raise it up to 25. Alright, so that was 2 tracks I had for you that I made that I thought were the best that I could do, I guess, you know? I'm not a audio maker by any means, but hopefully this kind of gave you an idea of the sound. So now let's sit back down and actually go through what we just heard. Now that you've heard what this bad boy sounds like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I personally believe that the location that this has been set up in is the reason why it sounded so pretty good. It sounded great, to be quite honest with you. It sounded great compared to it being in my bedroom. It sounded so much more better than it being in my bedroom. Why is that? Well, again, location, location, location. You have to place this soundbar with the sub in a proper location. Now, you can place the sub away from the soundbar. You could probably plug the sub somewhere else and plug this somewhere else. It's wireless. They'll connect and talk to each other. To be quite honest, don't take it further than 10 feet. That's kind of ridiculous. But you can separate them. And that maybe is what's going to make it sound great. Or you can keep them together, like what I'm doing in my room. So it's on a TV stand, like let's say on top here. And then the subwoofer is on the side of the TV stand. And you could do that setup, and maybe that setup might sound great for you. For me, as of right now, it's sounding good, not great. It's sounding good, not great. Now, let's talk about the highs a little bit. The highs are clean. This soundbar by itself, without the subwoofer, is a clean sounding soundbar. But as an overall package, when the subwoofer has to come in and then you place this in a certain spot that just isn't cutting it, the soundbar does lack. And it lacks quite a bit at that point. As well as the subwoofer. The subwoofer lacks way worse than the soundbar in any regards to power. Honestly, with everything considered, with the tech that's inside of this thing, the way I feel about it, the way you need to position it properly, like you don't have a choice, you have to position this properly in order to receive the best sound possible. This system, for me, is probably going to receive one of my lowest scores in a while, to be quite honest. But this system alone, probably a 3.7 out of 5. A solid 3.7 out of 5 is what I rate this. Now, some of you out there might, have this system, and you might be going crazy about what I just said. You might, oh no, it's a 5-star system. It's great at that. Listen. I get it. For you, it's a 5-star system. I understand that. For me, lacking Atmos, I guess in 2019, Bluetooth 5 is a big thing. It is a big thing. Most phones are coming with Bluetooth 5 now. Why not? Some TVs are coming with AirPlay. My Samsung TV has AirPlay. Why couldn't this have AirPlay? AirPlay to AirPlay. That's how HomePod works, right? the price, the power, the lack of certain features, and overall the sound, if you place it wrong, if you place it not incorrectly, I shouldn't say incorrectly, if you place it in a weird way, it's just not there. And those are four major things that you're buying the soundbar for. You know, you're buying it for the better price, you're buying it for good sound, you're buying it for hopefully maybe a bigger version of this has Atmos, or you're hoping for this version to have Atmos, but it doesn't. All of those things count. And my channel is not to boost products because, you know, they're a name brand like Samsung or Harman Kardon. My channel is to make sure you don't overpay and to make sure that you get the right tech product for the price. I mean, look at this, for example, the Logitech Z625, although not a Bluetooth system, comes with a sub. It's a 2.1 setup. And the difference between the 625 and the 623 is the 625 has an optical port now. But anyways, the 625 has the optical port, so you can connect optical. It doesn't have HDMI, it's an older system, but it comes with 400 watts peak power, which means 200 watts RMS power. And you can control the bass. Like, you can control the bass on this too, but don't worry about it. You can actually physically control the bass, and the bass on that is nice, tight, crisp, good stuff for the price. Guess what? The price. It's $132 on Amazon. 132 versus even the 280 that I paid for this, and you get 200 watts RMS versus the 180 watts RMS. I don't know about you, but that's a great deal. That is a great deal, especially if it goes on sale even further for the holiday. Imagine getting that system for $100. You got a Logitech Z625 for $100 with 400 watts of peak power, and this is $500 for 360 watts of peak power. Just think about that for a second. That's why I'm saying, yeah, some of you out there might say this is a 5-star system, but in reality, 3.7 is a pretty good number for it. So, thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this review. Hopefully it was a little bit quicker than some of my other videos. I know I've taken long on those videos, but anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please comment down below and tell me what you think. Tell me if you like the system, if you think the system is overpriced, if you think that I'm just plain wrong and the system is fantastic for $500. Well, okay. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to get the community going again, like we always do. Please like, please comment. Again, please subscribe. Please share the video. You never know when somebody might need a little more information on this system in general, right? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one.